Hello, SpeedGaming. Today we've got another excellent match of the Metroid Prime Mentor Tournament. I'm Jeff Gains and Games, joined by Op82. And we've got Eraldoe and mcolyer on for today's race. 1 second, I am jumping off from a few different other responsibilities, so trying to organize myself here if the commentary is a little bit slow off the bat. But I believe our racers are ready, so we should be kicking off any moment. Yep, just getting the word in the race time room. And I'll just be waiting to kick off shortly. We've got, let's see, how are these folks doing in the brackets? Not the brackets, Swiss. How are these folks standing up? We've got, okay, looks like both are evenly matched with the current standings. I haven't, be interested to see how they both play out. Do we have any notes on their mentors? We'll check. We've got Soaring Wyvern on Eraldoe's side and Bruh Inc. on mcolyer. Awesome. So these folks have been very active mentoring this tournament already. So good bits of knowledge for both the runners. We are kicked off in the race time room. Countdown has begun. And we've got a little bit of syncing to do. All right. Excellent. Okay, so starting off with our classic space jump first. Yeah, that is more concerning. Very interesting. Just poke my head into their stream to see if things are working and maybe it's dropping. Nope. They've got the same thing over on their side. So figure that out. So we'll try to get that space jump first. It's one of those ones that even with practice, you can still mess it up sometimes even at higher levels, just to the fact that you've got to start performing right off the bat. So they're going to get there, gets rewarded with an energy tank. Not bad. We have seen some fairly low health seeds so far this tournament, so effectively doubling our health already is very good. Get a peek underneath the missile. Yep, good job scanning this. Knowing that it's missile expansion, we know that it's another logical launcher. With that, we've got a pretty straight shot towards Hive Code. I like that that skin dash is getting some use from folks in this tournament. We've seen a few different people getting through Randomizer a little bit faster. So we've got grapple on alt ledge. So I wonder if we'll see a space jump on Hive Totem for the grapple, and then the missile on grapple edge to be our first logical missiles. I would have turned around to peek that item in Ruin Nursery, but there's a good chance we're also coming back this way. We would need to find missiles into Morph Ball. Now another dash coming up. Another one that everyone in this tournament should be getting comfortable with now is the Hive Totem dash. That is our space jump over there, so likely my thinking was correct of getting to that grapple beam is going to be important. So unfortunately, triggering this fight, gonna lose minute 30 seconds or so. Not a ton of time, but it's time that we would not like to lose. It's pretty much any time. Ooh, that was you. But it was a little crispy. Alright, back to our regularly scheduled program. Space jump boots for mcolyer. So unfortunately no missiles for this pass, so we are going to be leaving behind all the information on Ruin Gallery right now. We are going to get our peek in Ruin Nursery. And that is just some missiles. Oh, that is Morph Ball in the half pipe. Can just do a slope jump there off the half pipe itself, but this way is just as effective. There's our grapple beam. Perfect time to check the tree here if you're interested in doing so. So this grapple point's a little funky, and doesn't like to scan unless you're in a fairly specific spot. This trick is much more annoying when you don't have space jump and you've got to walk all the way around again to get back up here and reattempt. unfortunately releasing their lock on there, so it started to get back to that neutral aim. It looks like bonking their head as well when attempting the first jump, losing a little bit of height. Yeah, so I think the it's just it's like a distance and angle thing, and it's supposed to, because you're supposed to be coming in from piston tunnel, so you're trying to get a little bit more to the left than you think. You're not just getting close. And that is indeed our missile launcher. So I indeed would take this into Ruin Shrine as well. We've got 2 pickups here, one at the top of the half pipe and Morphball item itself. Then likely gonna take this into the rest of Chozo. Though you are leaving Ruin Gallery behind and Transport Access North, so maybe you do that loop and peek what's in Vault this time. And Beetle Jam time. Crispy Beetle Jam. So did we see that upper item? I don't think we did, unless I missed it. Now it looks like heading deeper into Chozo Ruins. So yeah, that early Chozo loop is going to be left alone for, I imagine, until we get bombs. If we get bombs over in this direction. Just a missile in the fountain. So as we head towards Watery Hall, gonna take this save, perhaps thinking about doing the lower Watery Hall slope jump with the poisoned water still active. With only 1 energy tank, we'll be cutting a little close if you end up missing that jump a few times. It looks like we've got our first artifact in Watery Hall. So no bombs to be found. That's a power bomb expansion. We probably want that. So we're gonna have to be quick about doing this slope jump. Almost getting it, but fortunately just not quite right. Still had a few more chances, but unfortunate. Because yeah, that would be a nice grab. Because even if you are missing bombs for a little while, you're not going to get any worthwhile drops from those crates. If you're going to attempt it again, it's more worthwhile to just save and refill health. So getting another save here. We can either go back for that power bomb or try Zoid, or we can go back to Talon, which seems like that's the play. Gonna get hints, transport tunnel B, frigate crash site. Oh, Baja giving the good news. That'd be pretty hype. Oh, something happened. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, okay. There's an ice beam behind. We got Life Grove, Elite Quarters. Oh my god, there's another OP. Cool. Transport access. It's fine. Main quarry. It's fine. Wow. Another OP seed. And so, ice beam behind Zoid. Okay. That's interesting. So that was that being behind bombs. Or yeah, I guess it would have to be behind bombs. It's good information to have, but yeah, unfortunate that Eraldoe's gonna have to fight Zoid again. So we know they don't have bombs. That's something. I'm trying to think of like what we can track right now. I'm gonna assume they probably have the Watery Hall artifact, and they must have had a power bomb due to the getting to the far side of Zoid or to Burn Dome. The power bomb I assume is the one in Lower Watery Hall. Yeah. Okay. Looks like Eraldoe also heading back. And that's our Variasuit. Oh boy. So that's definitely heading into Magmore towards Probably Triclops pit, I can imagine. But that means, of course, we're leaving behind Lava Lake for quite some time. So just utilizing the underwater slope jump here. Fairly easy trick with space jump. Would recommend learning it with without space jump. Underwater movement's fun in this game. And a wave beam. Oh boy. Well, that means we'll be able to go into Fendrana pretty quickly after, but doesn't do anything for us right this moment. Oof, losing a lot of health there. Those Magmors can hurt. But there is an E-Tank, so recommend going for that. E number 2. Okay, should be fairly safe for our players now. And with the Very, of course, getting a little bit of extra damage reduction. There's another energy tank in Shore Tunnel. Eraldoe could pick that up on the way with that one power bomb tank, but might be good to keep that on hand. So it looks like on Eraldo's side, opting to climb Root Cave now. Does have grapple to skip the dash, but we are going to have to go X-rayless, which most of these runners are probably fine with. But will we see the Arbor Chamber climb? Oh, and unfortunately, a little bit of a unintended dash there, sending us down to the bottom. Looks like we're gonna give it another try. You know, it could always be X-ray at the other side of Magmoor here as we travel through on mcolyer's side, leading all the way back. So this could be a worthwhile skip for Root Cave. Unfortunately, missing the second last invisible platform. But we are seeing sure commitment and will as we attempt this for the third time now. Unfortunately, two vertical rooms causing some issues on either side here, so. Unfortunately, just a missile expansion at the top here. Now, yeah, like I imagine, not everyone's comfortable with Root Cave, but not everyone's comfortable with Root Cave or Arbor Chamber without bombs. So, fairly likely that we see that skipped. So with Varia and Wave Beam, I'm wondering, and Grapple Beam, I'm wondering if like Training Chamber access could be our bombs. Alright, so Eraldoe making their way back to where mcolyer is now in Magmoor. And looks like we are going to see that power bomb used to grab that extra E. Well, we'll take a dip in the lava first, though. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. All right, runner high five here. Morphing. Okay, so it looks like Eraldoe's also going to go for Warrior Shrine off the bat. It is good to go for this now, because if it is bombs, that allows you to escape out by Lava Lake, and then you can continue on through like Chozo. Or if it's bombs here, you could also just leave and make a bold play and go right to Phendrana. Eraldoe getting the dash using the scan visor instead of combat dashing off the puffer. Perfectly acceptable. We'll be getting another E-tank. Unfortunately, without bombs or even boost ball, can't do upper fiery shores now. Be a soft lock. Would be awfully mean if we got main PBs to make logical point of no return down there. Oh, and mcolyer also grabbing the E-tank up there. Getting the dash, able to move on. So right now, both runners nicely tied up. Eraldoe just having that advantage of the early power bomb expansion, which can come in pretty clutch, as we've seen in past races. Definitely worth grabbing that first one. And that is our bombs. So mcolyer making it first to bombs. Gonna grab storage cavern here in just a moment. And then we'll see where our runners head after this. I imagine it'll be a dip to Lava Lake. But with the few early checks in Chozo that we haven't touched yet, I'd be curious if they head all the way back, or will anyone opt to head into Phendrana with that wave beam? The sink. Oh, it's neck and neck, and then that Triclops gets in the way. Oh, that's a good point. Eraldoe does know that ice is behind Zoid, so yeah, that is a very good call. Forgot about that one. Hopefully they didn't. Thankfully, with two mines on the case, it should be easier to remember. Oh, wow, look at that. Main power bombs. Okay. Well, that might push me towards dipping back for upper fiery shores, but taking just a regular save here could be. Of course, a little heavy on that L trigger, locking onto the puffers, unfortunately. But deciding to turn around, so doesn't have that ice beam knowledge, so might be heading to upper fiery shores first, and then into Phendrana from here. Couple early checks here. We've also got Tower of Light, which is pretty infamous for having progression. I don't think we've seen any peaks at Vault yet, but that's easy enough to go from the Vault Ledge side in Main Plaza. Yeah, going back to Chozo now, especially with the knowledge that of where Ice Beam is, to me is the better choice. But again, mcolyer does not have that information. So, with that being said, with the Wave Beam, I probably would be inclined for Findrana. So, just getting those main PBs, heading back into towards Warrior Shrine, and getting that upper Fiery Shores check into. Oh, looks like not doing that. Just gonna head straight into Findrana, unless I missed it. But players loaded up on E-Tanks. Yeah, that's correct. Not for Fiery Shores should be available. Looks like we're going to head to Rune Shrine, clean up the last item behind the sandstone, and grab Tower of Light. Another lovely nothing. 1 of 7. I think we've already seen 1 or 2 as well before. Not opting to do Tower of Light. Now, are they grabbing missiles? Nope. I was going to say they've got 35 total missiles, so. Where are they heading? Looks like opting for Chapel of the Elders first. Yep, agree with Baja's statement there. I think it's a good idea to clean up these few items on the way. Now, will we see dashes? Will we just see a peek? Might. Yeah, okay. So just going to use this opportunity to break the first layer and watch the cutscene, see what the item is. Just some missiles. Okay, so good idea to just check that. we can leave. Don't have to worry about doing the dashes. In Chapel, that looks like a plasma beam, doesn't it? Huh. Okay. So plasma beam in Chapel of the Elders, and ice beam behind Zoid. So thankfully, plasma doesn't open up a ton at this stage of the game before ice beam. So other than a few Ventrana things, mcolyer will likely be heading back into Chozo at some point to find some of their next progression. Yes, Baja making X-ray. Excellent point that we do need that X-ray. After all, we've got and a required OP for that artifact. And yep, Chozo Ice Temple is it's a free check now. No need to peek it. Life Grove, I believe, was another artifact, so I think we'll need boost. Well, thinking that if it actually was Life Grove. No, not just having Seed Bleed from the previous race. Can I scroll far enough back to find artifacts? There we go. So yeah, looking like a beeline to that ice beam. I was looking away for a moment. Did we see what magma pool was and training chamber? Could have got that peek on the way back here, which I think would have been a good idea. No, unfortunate. So I imagine we're likely going to take this into the back of Chozo, perhaps? There's our flamethrower behind the ice and shorelines. And there's our ice beam. Lovely second visit to Incinerator Drone and 1 seed. Gotta love it. Let's see what's in Ice Ruins East. We've got nothing. And we've got super missiles. It's getting close to front Thardis, logically. Just need that thermal visor for the entry from Courtyard and for the fight itself. So it looks like Eraldoe is taking this into the back of Chozo. That newly obtained Ice Beam. We do a few checks back there. So wildly different routings. So far, they've both had their own rewards. Now, Lower Furnace will have another PB expansion. Got plenty of ammo now. Shouldn't have to worry about our management too much, unless you're burning them on a lot of Metroids and lower mines. But now I assume we're going to do the dumbest trick in the game, in my opinion. Let go of L. Can't get this holding L. There we go. Nope. Is that's the technical reason? Wow. All right. Cool. Learned something new. Doesn't mean I have to like it though. And that's boost ball. Wow. So mcolyer's making pretty good progress here, and does have everything they need to reach the back of labs. Yeah, you 100% have to let go of L there. Seems to be the case I find usually. I gotta imagine this is going to be a play into labs. With that boost ball, especially, we know we can get past observatory, logically. So heading back into Watery Hall, going to check lower dynamo. Meanwhile, mcolyer's side, climbing up Ruined Courtyard again, using a series of standables. One above the door is kind of slippery at times. So I gotta wonder where Eraldoe is heading now. Oh, mcolyer saying goodbye to that pirate, laying a power bomb on it. Really does not like that pirate. So taking the save back to, or the save warp back to Talon and our ship. Gotta imagine we're heading to Magmor again towards Vendrana. Alright, let's see what's in Hydra. This last pirate is dealt with. Alright, Serpers, just a refill, might as well. So thankfully, with no way into the back half of Vendrana from Magmor, logically we still need that spider ball. Eraldoe's likely to be sent through early Fen, and we'll find that plasma beam as well. Because otherwise, if they had gravity suit or spider, they might have tried for the backside and went through reverse labs. Alright, let's see what we've been missing out on. Nothing. Observatory's got soup for us. Is that gravity? It is gravity. Okay, interesting. A little bit of damage reduction, but also, why is gravity there? Likely going to continue heading through labs here. Definitely the good choice at this point. Fortunately, we don't have that ice beam, so we'll have to backtrack if there is anything worthwhile. Looks like that mid-air bomb was a little too late on Eraldoe's side. Successful fight skip from mcolyer. mcolyer opting to take the easy way and just use plasma beam. Often see people keep trying that skip a few times, and it's like, if you got plasma, it's like just open it up. Nothing wrong with that. And 3 more checks on the way here before we got to turn around. Thankfully, with Ice Beam being the last beam for mcolyer, that's going to look a lot of our late game checks. So we'll have to start doubling back over some of those earlier spots that we may have left out. Fortunately, mcolyer needs to kill the little Metroid first, before that pirate will help us out. And it's out of there. Now our friend will break the glass kindly. There we go. So we've got a missile on the upper check. Is that another missile? It was, okay. One last chance to find some progression, other than gravity suit. And if this is a vanilla thermal visor, then that's unfortunate. Ooh, it is vanilla thermal, yep. It had to be, you know? Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Now, I'd be curious to know if mcolyer routes in Thardis, or do they go just directly into Frigate? Or I guess they have to find Ice Beam first, though. So they're probably going to route back to Thardis, thinking it has Ice Beam, which would have been a coincidence, given last seed. Unfortunately, Eraldoe skipping out on Chapel of the Elders right now. He's not going to have that plasma beam. We'll likely find the boost ball trapped behind plasma here, and we'll at least know that we can't go too far into labs. That's just the ice, unfortunately. It's definitely boost ball, though. So yeah, a bit of an unfortunate routing mistake by Eraldo there, not checking canyon first. We'll have to drop down and then climb that room up a second time. Check Fen Canyon first. You can climb that room once, check the item, and then head towards Courtyard. On mcolyer's side, we're seeing some Dark Labs action. Not something we see very often, but does want to keep that thermal visor. So there actually is nothing logical past this point for Eraldo. We need Boost Ball to get that Ruined Courtyard item. And we'll need either Boost or Spider to climb Ruined Courtyard fully. I will have to ask when we get our racers in the decision to skip Chapel of the Elders. Perhaps not a decision, but just a forgetful moment, but we'll see. Could always be strategy. So it looks like mcolyer is heading. Likely heading towards Thardis. Gonna take that thermal visor in there. We'll be able to escape, thankfully, with grapple beam. Fortunately, not quite getting the distance on that jump. Might be easier to make it on top and then drop down with the space jump. There we go. Now we'll need a decent jump to make this. Yeah, unfortunately, pressed L in the air again after getting the L jump. Oh, it looks like a partial high five by our runners. Nope. A little bit of a misfire there. Yep, our runners very close together. The routing through labs will be a little nicer for Eraldo. Unfortunately, not having that plasma beam will mean if they end up fighting Thardus on the way back after getting, especially with thermal being at the end there. Yeah, that would be funny. Just I think one of the Zelda games has that. Whichever Zelda game, I don't know. Not really a Zelda person, but I have seen the little pixie thing fluttering around. Yeah, that's how little I know. Um, but yeah, that would be kind of cool to just by chance you see your opponent running across the screen as like a little dot. Yeah, especially if they're heading in the exact opposite direction as you. It's like, what do you know? Alright, so it looks like Eraldoe is doubling back and is going to be grabbing their plasma beams soon enough. Meanwhile, on mcolyer's side, we've got the large bunny made of rocks. Is that day? Happy Bunny Day, everyone. So for Jay, we've got his large rock bunny. If you're confused, good. There it is. The plasma beam. So that is full map access for Eraldoe. So they'll likely head and pick up boost immediately after. They might. I gotta hope that they go to Ice Ruins, go back to Ice Ruins East and grab supers. Getting ready to lay to that power bomb, and down goes Momoshikov. Oh, you gotta stand on the pad so you get the overlap. There we go. That's full beamage. And an almost dead Thardus on this side. Oh, one last block to just mess with our runners. Charge up that beam or get a little bit closer. It's got some fall off there. Oh, for a missile. Just has to pick one of these grapple points. There we go. Now we can head back to Coroutine Monitor. Now, Thardus could always be a hallway. There's our validation on Eraldoe's side. Now mcolyer heading into Magmore. We've got only really one check from this side. Can't get plasma processing, can't head into mines. So after this, likely gonna have to head back to Chozo. Which thankfully we're gonna eventually be railroaded into Ice Beam. So I can just imagine this is going to be head back to grab the save warp. Only imagine Eraldoe's getting suspicious of Thardus too, due to that supers. Already had access from the back, but probably hoping they don't find thermal along the way in labs. Thankfully, with all the beams and getting gravity on the way here, we are going to be able to clean up all of Far Fen and just all of Fen pretty much. It would be a good idea to probably not do Thardus after that point and just leave it. Even if it is your last spot, at least you know that that's your last Fen location if it's hinted for Phazon suit. So I wonder if this is going to be a skip or they are just diving head first into Thardus. Because could always just be trying to get to the back of labs. That looks not. Looks like they're just taking the bait. Yeah, the only thing bad about backwards labs in this sense is that we know that thermal's in research core. That means we're going to be forced to do dark labs. Whereas if we went through the front, we'd be ending up at the same spot at Thardus. Fortunately, grabbing thermal and then bailing would mean foregoing the gravity suit, which would help in late fen. Fermenters, we've got Soaring Wyvern on Eraldoe's side and Bruh Inc. for mcolyer. So yeah, seeing that Chozo cleanup on the mcolyer's side as we look for the Ice Beam. So this is going to be, yeah, no spider ball. That's a funny one. So we have to use a couple standables here to make it up to the top of the spider track. Fairly easy skip. Fortunately, just a little short on that jump. That is artifact number 2. Should hopefully start to pick these up a little bit quicker now. Oh, opting to head back. Maybe since we have all of our beams, it's best to, maybe they're being told to head towards the artifacts, but we don't have X-ray, so X-ray is going to become a problem at some point. The seed is definitely not solved yet. Security access A, yes. Life Grove, yes. Transport access we've got, and main quarry. Those are all fine, but I definitely got to think that you do far fen at that point in your route. Like, not knowing where X-ray is, I think it's smart to expend that option before continuing on. We're now seeing magma pool for, I believe, the first time. A lovely ice spreader. Fortunately, not the beam mcolyer is looking for. What do we got in here? That looked like a nothing from my perspective. It's one of those common green guys with white talons. Gotta love our cool nothings, though. Remember, folks, if you feel like making me happy, open the map when you're looking at a nothing, and maybe it'll change colors. Gotta collect all those neat variants. It is real. I'm not joking on that one. The nothings have some weird behaviors. It's also visor dependent sometimes. So like if you switch to maps with X-ray open rather than combat, might be a different color. Doesn't work on all of them, but it does work on some of them. For instance, the one in Root Cave always turns into the cinnamon flavor. Facts. It's the only one I know for sure. Go ahead and make a preset where there's no items in the pool, and you start with everything and just run around the map collecting nothings. That was a fun stream. Would recommend. So on mcolyer's side, we are narrowing it in on that ice beam. I'm going to be happy to see that. Likely going to head through the back of Chozo, pick up that Life Grove artifact. Maybe head through Frigate towards Mines. Maybe. Or maybe we go through Magmoor and clean up a plasma processing towards lower Mines. Couple options. With the gravity suit and the thermal, and nothing of coming from the thermal yet, I'd be more inclined to head through Frigate, especially since we need to start exhausting some of those checks for X-ray. Chat asking who is leading right now. I would say that Eraldoe is, but it could come down to routing of X-ray. And mcolyer is definitely not out of this by any means. It's definitely not over yet. All the beams on Eraldoe's side has helped open the map up a little bit more. mcolyer just getting the ice beam now. So, yeah, definitely still anyone's game. So we don't have Spider. So unless someone's been practicing spiderless shafts, yeah. Thought that might be the case. Looks like we might be heading a little farther down. Do have a few more checks down here. Could head towards vent shaft. Really, the farthest we can get is vent shaft and central dynamo, without either of them being X-ray. That's why it's kind of a bold play going down here right now, since not having X-ray is going to limit us in how far we can actually make it. And yeah, the thing is, X-ray could be logically accessible through Frigate, and then Spider Ball could be like MQA or something, and need that X-ray to get by. So there's a few gross scenarios in here, and I think if mcolyer routes through the back, has all the beams to clean up the rest of this, can make pretty short work of it. then if they head through Frigate into mines, I think that's the best play that they could make. Unfortunately, aggroing the elite pirate here. If you are able to sneak around the back of this one, you can use the AI manip to keep it from bugging you. Fortunately, it looks like mcolyer's got the same issue on the right side there and is holding L while trying to attempt this trick. Also looking at the opposite side. Not familiar if that works or not. Haven't tried it, so can't say for sure. Looks like they're getting up there. Okay, awesome. One of the weirdest tricks, unfortunately. Not quite getting the roll in. But now that they found out the secret sauce and can get up there, times will be much quicker. Unfortunately, just a missile in Central Dynamo. Come on, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, hey, let's go. So we're going to be taking the save here, and I imagine the save warp. Yeah. Oh, they are turning around? Question mark? Where are we going? Crossway? Crossway. So with Eraldoe's routing, a little bit of the map is very split up right now. There's been much more full clearing of sections on mcolyer's side, which I think will play better into the late game. Especially if we get like a Phazon suit hint somewhere. That isn't mines, let's say. Yeah, Eraldoe likely taking the path to Overgrown Cavern here. Can grab the Life Grove checks. Grab some of these late Chozo checks as well. Very good spider skip. And haul the others. What are they allowed and not allowed to tell you? They're there to tell you what tricks to do, what routes to take, how to do tricks. They can pull up videos. I mean, you can pull up videos in any tournament. Only thing they're not really allowed to do is, you know, watch the restream and report what the other person's doing. They are there to guide these players so they can show them whatever they need to. They'll likely have practice mod open and be walking them through some of the more complex tricks that they might be some of the mentees might be learning or just need some help with. And that is Spider Ball. Okay. So likely mcolyer is going to be picking that up. I can imagine we'll probably do Life Grove into Overgrown Cavern. What does that spider ball do for us? Definitely gets us past MQA. Once we find X-ray, of course, but I'm trying to think of now. Puts ghosts in logic. We've got what else? Courtyard, or not courtyard, crossway is in logic. We got upper dynamo in logic. There's a few things in Chozo that are gonna be blocked by spider ball. You read the health and safety guide. That's certainly one way to mentor. So a nice little high five there by our runners once again. Nice wraparound super there. Yes, some video. one of those Metroid Prime videos. So with that, mcolyer is heading towards Life Grove. Few opportunities to pick up X-ray here. Really, X-ray and our spider ball is likely going to be needed for both players. Well, Eraldoe's already got the spider, so. I imagine with where our remaining artifacts are, there's a good chance that we probably find Phazon Suit on the way. No more platforms over there. Just gonna have to make that jump. Everyone's favorite spider track standable. Great Tree Hall. Why are Samus's feet so far back? Couldn't quite see what the item was up there, but based on the reaction, I'm gonna say it's not X-ray. Unfortunately, struggling a little bit on that final jump there. The roof does overhang quite a bit, so you'll have to jump backwards and then forwards again to avoid it. And of course, it doesn't help that you're balancing on a thin standable. Gonna see a high five very shortly from our runners here. Eraldoe does have Spider Ball if they opt to use the slower but consistent method. There we go. All right, let's see what kind of treasures Elias. What was it? What word was I trying to say there? Lie ahead of us? Something like that. Oh my god. It's getting late, I guess. Let's see what treasures lie ahead of us in Life Grove Tunnel. I think my brain just shut off there for a moment. Okay. Nothing of value. Gonna pick up that one artifact in Life Grove, though. Now for everyone's favorite slippery rock in the game. There we go, nicely done. And another high five on the way out. Where are you going? Ooh, bars? It looks like mcolyer's made it on the right side there, so gonna be picking up that artifact soon enough. mcolyer in purgatory here, just forever boosting. Can be useful to get a double boost. Boosting on the way down and the second time on the way up. Oh no! Unfortunate. There we go. And all for a missile. Of course. So Eraldoe taking us back to the ship. Curious where they'll be heading next. I'd imagine it's on Magmore's side. Maybe back into lower mines. Take the spider trek up. That's what they're thinking. Gravity and thermal were both in labs. Gravity was on observatory, and thermal was in its vanilla location in research core. So yeah, looks like we're heading towards, yeah, grab plasma processing on the way back to mines. You can do a little bit more now with Spider, get to that early mines section. We are still missing that thermal visor, which is kind of just worrying, because if it's not in mines, that means we've got to leave and come back to mines for a third time. Ooh, almost making that jump for the escape. Sure, a couple more shots should be able to get that. Alright, time for some geothermal climb. Looks to be jumping a little far here. Curious what they're shooting at. Gonna want to land on that gray lip on the upper side of it, so there we go. Aiming a little bit better now. There we go. Very good. Looks like they might be getting coached through this slope jump here. Not too bad of one, but need to ride up this slope and then actually move out a little bit because the peg right above us. Oof, not gonna want to morph. The peg right above us is actually another slope. So yeah, like that. But unfortunately, we do need a fairly good slope jump to start this off. So it is gonna want to go more to the right. Work off that slope. It looks like mcolyer is opting to fight the ghosts. Oh, interesting. That is certainly one way to do that. Morph and use bombs. Huh. Wow, and there's our X-ray. Excellent. So that puts Eraldoe in artifact hunting mode, and hopefully they pick up Phazon suit on the way. Either way, though, it will definitely be pushing for those remaining artifacts. Spider Ball was in overgrown cavern. So likely mcolyer going to be picking it up soon enough here, coming out of Life Grove. In somewhat go mode, yes, definitely. We've got security access A, main quarry, so 2 checks in upper mines. So we're probably going to do the whole upper mines loop, and then we can head down into lower mines for our last artifact on Omega Pirate. Is how I would route this. Guess you could do Omega Pirate first if you felt like it. Would be nice to find Phazon in upper just to have that damage resistance. X-ray was on plasma processing. Oh, looks like mcolyer has made the great escape. Oof. Unfortunate. Getting a little bit of limited influence there. Knocking us all the way down. Not a room we like to fall in. Especially now that we've got the plasma processing item. The beam troopers do spawn now. So opting to head down first. So this does mean climbing PPC again. In some of these other rooms. Yeah, personally I would go up to the top. but we'll see how it plays out. There's mcolyer's spider ball. So where will they take this? Kind of looking towards frigate right now. Curious to know if that is going to be the play. It's kind of looking like it's the play. Now, while it would be handy to find Phazon suit in here, I don't think it's enough to swing the scales of the race too much, because Eraldoe does have very good information on Talon to know that... Oh, actually, if Phazon suit is in here, Eraldoe does not have gravity suit yet, so there is a chance that a Phazon suit in here could be a good find. Because Eraldoe's got to go all the way through labs to find gravity. Interesting. Okay, cool. We still have a race on our hands. Anything is possible. Nice quadrikill there. Besides underwater sections, do you need gravity to finish? No. There is no hard requirement for gravity unless you're in need of it for the gravity sections. The bosses do have health requirements, so if you have the cumulative damage, suit damage reduction, gravity could be required to fulfill the health logic. But I believe we have vanilla damage reduction, which means that once we find Phazon suit, we get the full 50%. Alright, what does cargo freight lift have in store for us? Nothing so far. Just a missile and MQA. Is this even randomized? Did we just skip Fungahall access? That wasn't just me, right? There's still an item dot back there? That could not That could be not good. That is an excellent space for Phazon suit to be. Not really any reason to look in PMT. It's nothing it can really be. But do some missiles. Could have been a beam combo, but we've got the important ones: super missile and flamethrower. Let's see if Hat is our ticket. Unfortunate. Okay, so not rewarded for the frigate play, but you know, gonna get access to mines here anyways, so I don't dislike it. Unfortunately, we are going to be looking around for that X-ray visor for a little while. Best opportunity we really have to find it is probably heading all the way to Vent Shaft and Central Dynamo. Knowing that it's nowhere farther, going to take the save warp out, head into Magmore, clean up plasma processing, heading towards Late Fen. Because if you head towards Late Fen, you're going to do plasma processing on the way. And then mcolyer can just grab the one artifact and transport access and dip back into mines. Because yeah, Late Fen is completely abandoned on both sides. mcolyer just because they didn't have Ice Beam at the time that they were over there, and Eraldoe just decided not to route it in at the time. Just chilling on the grapple beam here. No bambus over there. Would recommend just jumping through this room to take less damage and be faster. There's the main Cory artifact from mcolyer. Gotta imagine they're gonna do the full upper mines loop. Might stumble across phase unsuit as well. Hey, that was a neat nothing. So taking the save before OP. Don't have a lot of damage reduction, so we've seen this fight go suboptimally for some, so not a bad idea to save, especially with low ammo. It's gonna be a pain. We do have supers, so should make it a little easier if we've been practicing our strats. What do we have? Okay, storage depot A is a PB. We will not be coming back for that. So we're going to want to morph in and boost to the side of the arena. Maybe not that far to the side. This works too. This keeps us out of... Oh, okay. Just kidding, that didn't keep us out of OP's high line. Interesting. So we will need to fight this the normal way, which is unfortunately quite slow. Does make it more dangerous as well, as we'll actually be getting attacked. Fortunately, it doesn't look like this is a quick fight strat. I'm gonna miss some damage here fighting off these wave pirates. Yeah, likely gonna be going through another phase. It's alright, it happens, but we'll be losing a little bit of time, and it'll be a little bit riskier as we gotta go through again. Ideal setup with this loadout is going to be 2 rapid fire missiles into a super, and then 2 more supers after that. That'll be a pretty quick 1 cycle. Could also do the any percent strats. Use 2 fully charged plasma shots, not including the, the 1 free uncharged shot they give you so handily. And then a power bomb into the last phase. That'll also be a pretty quick 3 pool. A little harder to execute though. Alright, fight over. That is Artifact of Wild. Unfortunately, a Charge Beam does not draw in those pickups. They really want to show you that you're invincible to phase on. Or invulnerable? Is that the right word? I don't know the difference. Vanilla game, so just have to dive in and pick them up. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Hopefully you have more than, 5 health to grab them. Gonna want to jump to reset the ticking of the phase on. Took a lot of damage there. Who doesn't love a good vertical room? So with this, Eraldoe will be heading up to Upper Mines with that lovely spider ball that they were missing last time. It looks like mcolyer is working their way through the ore processing puzzle. Gonna have to be careful of these scatter bamboos. We are in dangerous territory for the next little while. Another high 5 bar runners. Unfortunately, taking your time is good to stay alive, but it is slow. Eraldoe's really got to keep moving to keep this lead moving. Ooh, baby. 36 HP left. We're so close to a save station. A death here would be costly. McCoyler's side gonna be heading towards Central Dynamo. No X-rays, so we'll be stuck after that, and we'll likely just be kindly routed into X-ray after that. Unfortunately, still a bit of a gap between these two. Eraldoe likely has the lead right now. One thing that would save mcolyer is if Fungal Hull access is Phazon Suit. Because Eraldoe missed that check. Very bad. We will see, though. Hopefully once they get the hint and are like, what? Phazon Suits and mines? And they see just one item dot down there, then they would know at least where to go. Unfortunately, it's not really in a great place to save warp out of. Pirate Manip here on McCoyler's side. Very quickly dispatched of. And on Eraldoe's side, picking up the 6th and final artifact. I'd like to see a pivot save in main Cory. But they might also be thinking, I guess there are more checks. I hope they leave now. Yeah. And go grab the hint. I like this call. Now, did we see mcolyer peak Central Dynamo? I believe so. And they saw it, saw that wasn't X-ray, and knew that they couldn't go any farther, and are now heading back up. So yeah, Phazon Suit to finish. That is hard, required to beat the game in order to deal damage to Essence, the final fight phase of Metroid Prime. Gravity, not required as far as we know. Unless it's in some far Fendrana location. Because it's certainly not in in a Crash Frigate. So gonna take this PPC elevator up. And I gotta imagine would dip into plasma processing first before Farfen. Let's get ready for our favorite space dragon. Keeps getting brought back for some reason. You gotta think after losing so many times, you just like, you know, pick a new boss. Oh, sudden 4x3 change. Gotta force that on in the settings. Unfortunately, not getting the boost. Gonna try it again here. There we go. You got it. Now we've got the ground phase to deal with. And of course, immediately into a dash. See another one for good measure. Nope. $360? Ah, no 360. That's okay. Another dash. We love our dashes. I mean, to be fair, we spend most of the game dashing, and then get mad when Ridley does dashes, you know? It's kind of hypocritical, I guess. So mcolyer has made it back into Magmoor. I would like to see plasma processing into... They gotta get their second last artifact in transport access as well. Alright. Let's see where our hint is. This could make or break it. Talon Overworld. So the only place we haven't seen yet is Arbor Chamber. So with that, it's got to be game. We've seen Frigate from mcolyer's side. We've done Life Grove. Done most things. Arbor Chamber is our last thing. So, very good phase-on suit hint. This will be a quick grab. and then a double back right into impact crater. Looks like we'll be seeing the full spider trek on mcolyer's side. Would highly recommend learning some form of the skip. Your takeaway. This will be your learning moment from this race. Go practice this. We don't like this spider trek. It's slow. It's very slow. It's so fun though. If only it wasn't so slow to use Spider Ball. One last straight jump to the door. There we go. And our reward, the Phazon suit. And mcolyer has grabbed the X-ray visor. Has to be figuring out where to go next. Yeah, like I said, transport access into Omega Pirate. If you're 2 artifacts, then you can grab the... You can save warp, grab the hint, and all things considered, not too far behind. The story of this seed. The interesting thing, I think, to me, is Eraldoe getting the early information on Ice Beam, being able to route around that, while mcolyer found Plasma and Boost, and was able to head into labs, grab Gravity and Thermal. It was wild how both paths seemed to be following some kind of like logical trail. It was hard to keep track of. I'm wondering why Gravity and Thermal were placed so close together. Yet we didn't really need to see any of it. There was no reason to go through Frigate, and there was no reason to go to Farfen. Thought we were going to see this spider track for the first time in a while. here we go. Main PBs were in Lava Lake. We've had them for quite some time. Oh boy, this screen. Unstretch, please. Yeah, no. With Ice Beam's location and power bombs, yeah, no reason to go through Frigate. Getting some nice super shots in. Hopefully gets one more on the turnaround. A little late, unfortunately. Did we get Ice Spreader? I don't believe we did. Just deciding to use uncharged shots there. Working well enough, I guess. If you're more confident that you want quantity, it's not a bad option. Plasma first. Love to see it. So we ideally like to see a high damaging beam followed by a low damaging beam for Exo here. That way we can get a little bit of chip damage on the next phase when it's either running towards us or in this turnaround. So we can use missiles to destroy these. Much easier than hitting the ice shots. Feeling like we might get hit by these orbs. Oh, just in the nick of time. Alright, now for full random. Ideally, we'd like to see a lot of plasma here. almost got that shot on the turnaround. Oh. Exo's going fast. Nice ultra energy drop there. Can't complain. Mcolyer looks to be hunting for power bombs, I assume. Unfortunately, if you leave this room, you're going to have to do it in the dark afterwards. Which is suboptimal. Eraldoe, meanwhile, finishing off Exo and on their way into Essence. It's a very high up Essence. So unloading the full Phazon pool into Essence. Not the ideal strat we would like to see. In the future, you'll want to use the animation cancel technique to skip a bunch of Essence's attack animations and delay the next pool earlier. Also, please avoid standing on the Exo corpse. It'll draw Essence towards you, you'll get pool skipped. But unfortunately, no X-ray or no thermal here, so we're gonna have to go a bit blind. Especially, yeah, because we didn't have thermal. Instead of doing the animation cancels, it'd be good to get the most damage out of the pool by doing this step outs conservation. A little too fast on those. There we go. A little bit slower, I think. Okay, so did get some good damage off. Now stay back away from the corpse so that, yeah, you don't want to be on this side of the room. Essence seems to be behaving, but that can quickly go wrong. Likely not our last pool unless Eraldoe gets a lucky snag on Essence. Have to start being a little bit more conscious with the health. We're getting down there. 3 tanks left is still plenty. Unfortunately, just not enough with that pool. We got another extra phase after this, so as long as I don't get pool skipped, should be finished up after. Go, our hopeful last pool. Eraldoe's just got to unload into all that phase on. And GG's. Time of just about 2 hours 40 minutes. And it looks like mcolyer tossed in the forfeit a little bit after. So we'll work on getting both of our runners in for some comms. Yep, get your GG's in chat for both of our runners. Hello, hello, GG's. Welcome to mcolyer.
Thank you.
Awesome. So how... Go ahead.
Where was Phase on Suit?
Phase on Suit was in Arbor Chamber.
Arbor Chamber. Oh.
Yes,
for some reason I knew it was something there. Yeah, it was unfortunate.
1 second as I...
Yeah.
Grab an invite for Eraldoe.
Yeah. I'm going to end my stream from my side.
Sure thing. So yeah, other than just being a little bit behind the fate that last couple artifacts, how did things go on your end with you and your mentor?
Really fine. Actually, I just had a problem on the lab rope, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I still cannot do that trick, and to get into the left rope. Those two are, for me, a little bit complicated too. Mm-hmm. Also, don't practice speed. Don't practice before a seed a race. I was doing a practice hit just to get comfy since I was on a trip for 10 days, whole day. So
Hmm.
zero practice, zero. I did not watch anything. GG's.
Hey,
Mr. Eraldoe, welcome in.
yeah, that was a great race. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Plasma's in a fun spot.
Yeah. Plasma on a fun spot. Ice on a fun spot.
So ice I actually found early because I decided to waste some time going to check it without bomb,
Oh.
and I saw it had ice. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go right back there.
Yeah,
No,
that
I
was
went,
something that happened fairly early on. I'll just explain a little bit of
Okay.
what some of the early route divergence was. Is that dip in by Eraldo into Burn Dome, finding Ice Beam, whereas mcolyer went back into Fendrana and found an early Plasma Beam into Boost Ball, which led into Labs, which got gravity and thermal and pointed directly to Thardus, which of course had nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas Eraldo, once getting those bombs, hightailed it back to grab ice and started doing some of the ice checks. Did loop into Fendrana after that, found the Plasma Beam, the boost, but you just stuck away from Labs. You passed all of it by. You said, "I'm not going in there."
Yeah, we knew we didn't have some items to complete everything, and there was a skip I wouldn't have been able to do, and I was like, we'll come back. And later on, I was trying to decide like, oh, how much should we explore around, or should we just go straight to phase on? And I made a call to go check back of Chozo, and it paid off for us. After we, yeah, it was a great run. X-Ray was in a really awful spot. That was really wonderful.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Love, I hate it.
It's funny. I practiced the how to bounce for top of root cave, but I'd never done it bombless, and I was really thinking about going there and trying it without bombs, and that turned out to be phase on suit. And I regretted it at the end. I was like, man, if I'd done that skip right near the beginning, that would have been so sick. Early phase on.
No, I didn't get face on. They just told me where it was.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
always had it on Arbor Chain.
Yeah, I was stressing. I was like, man, I really hope it's not in frigate, because if he probably has gravity at this point and I don't, and if it's in ship, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I went checked frigate, clear frigate. I was clearing face on my currently.
Yeah.
I still had to clear back end of Fendrana and some not Chelsea, Talon overworld checks.
Yeah, no one went to Far Fendrana this seed.
Yeah,
No.
no, I skipped it. I was like, probably not.
I was probably going to go to Far Fendrana.
Yeah.
No. Actually, no. I was going to get the artifacts again, go and get the places of fleet.
Mm-hmm.
So no Far Fendrana.
I really enjoyed that though. That was a long race. The items were just a lot of backtracking.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you both did well. It was a good one to commentate on. One other thing that I wanted to bring up that I'm now immediately forgetting. Oh, yes. Eraldo, you missed Fungal Hall access unless I did
Fungal
not
Hall
see
access.
you peek it. The one with the mushroom and the pirate at the bottom.
Mushroom with the pirate at the bottom.
Oh yeah, missile down there.
It's got the missile underneath the mushroom.
The mushroom.
Yeah.
Did you skip that or did you forget that?
The ground where you bomb it to get the missile underneath the mushroom?
No, not that one. Right after
Oh,
NQA.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe
like
I missed
an elevator
one.
down. Because I saw, I could have swore I saw the item dot, but I was also wondering if my brain had just shut off for a moment and I missed the peak.
I'm trying to think what I've missed. I missed one in like Elite Access. I hadn't done the Omega or the Elite Pirate. I hadn't done, because we were thinking when we were going into Crater, we're like, man, I really hope it's in like Chozo or Talon.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
where we
sorry, or
have most
Charizard,
of your-
or phase, or sorry, or phase on, because we're like phase on. There's only like a couple things left.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, if you do either of you have any final thoughts to wrap up?
No, just GG. It was a great race, and I really
GG.
appreciate the organizers and the mentors. It was lots of fun.
Yeah.
Heck
And I learned some
shout out
things
to
again.
Shout out to the mentors for doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
fun
hope
to
to
be
see you
here,
guys.
to be honest.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
thanks to Op for tracking as well.
Thanks,
Hope
Op.
to see you guys
Thanks, Op.
have good luck in the following races. Good luck on the rest
Yeah.
of the tournament. With that, we'll see you next mission.
All right. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Take care.
You too.